Is this the fucking mic? This is exactly what I should be doing.
Okay. What's up, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of The Drop, your weekly source for all things NFT and crypto art, as well as upcoming drops by notable people in the Mograph industry. What? I'm here.
I know. I'm joking.
What?
I'm joking.
Oh,
I was like, am I live? Are we live?
Why?
Which one am I? Yeah.
Anyway, I'm Matt Milstead, along with Dave Koss. Joining us today is one of the pioneers of the NFT industry, Mr. Frederick Duquette, otherwise known as Fvckrender. So
don't mind me. I'm just changing the episode number right here. There you go. 16. Whoops.
That's funny. Frederick, talk to us about NFTs. How long? So
you've known about them longer than we have.
Yeah.
You've been into
the last time we talked, NFTs weren't really a thing. Like, there were some people who had been getting into them. I think EJ, in our Dave, EJ, Ariev chat, our little text message chain, kept on talking about like Super Rare or Maker's Place or something. They're like,
Ariev, you should get into this NFT thing. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Ariev was, I don't know. And now he's all over it. But talk to us about your journey, how you got into it. And you, in my opinion, are one of the biggest proponents of NFTs and the
early
space and stuff
too.
And early adopters and and in my opinion, like that's kind of become your brand, is like building up the NFT space and stuff like that and promoting it a lot.
Yeah.
Talk to us about your journey.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the kind of words. I don't see myself as this that much, if that makes sense. But yeah, I started like about 8 or 9 months ago. I applied to Super Rare. They got me in, and I literally had no expectation. And my friend Euphoria was already selling a couple pieces there, and I was like, oh shit, you sold a piece for like $5,000. That's fucking crazy. Like like even ETH aside, like crypto, I didn't know anything about crypto. I didn't know anything about ETH, anything about NFTs. And I sold this piece on Super Rare, got sold by Ioannis in less than 24 hours. We had a bid there was a bid war. I think it went for 12 ETH, which was $6,000 back in the day.
Yeah, at the time. Yeah, now it's
now
like 35 or something.
35K,
yeah.
And I literally lost my shit. I looked at my girlfriend. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what? Like this was fucking crazy. I was literally like, not crying, but I was like, I was just in a dark phase and everything. And like, I look at my girlfriend. I was like, this is fucking crazy. I can take no commercial work for like a month or two.
Yeah.
And it felt just so fucking crazy. And a week after I released another piece that got sold for, I think, 20 ETH.
Wow.
And this at the time was 9,000 or 10,000 something.
Yeah.
I was just losing my shit. Like literally, I was like freaking out.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I started to be super invested in this space, and like I was trying to understand why people was buying it first, because to me at the beginning I was like, okay, this doesn't make sense. And there's also a part of me that was like, it has to be more than just the image. So I dug like a lot about NFTs, about crypto and all these things, and I was like, what's interesting is not the artwork. The artwork is very important, but like the token behind the artwork is one of the most important thing, and it's something that people doesn't really understand. We're probably gonna talk about this a little bit later, but yeah. So I just started to like try to learn about crypto, try to learn about investments and stuff like this, and I used to be a lot in stock market and everything, so I was like really interested in crypto. And I had a call with my financial advisor, and I was like, hey, what do you think of crypto? And he was like, this is fucking bullshit. Don't invest. You're going to lose everything and everything. So that day I decided to take all my stocks and I put everything in.
Wow.
Hey, what
Because
do you think of this? It's terrible. Don't do it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
no, but that was funny because my thought process was like, okay, this guy's trying. It's like a fucking phone carrier. They want to sell me a plan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if this guy was so afraid of it, it means that he knows that it's potential. So
Right.
I was like,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, this is fucking bullshit. So I started to invest in different coins and stuff like this. I think I bought like 400 NFTs by now.
Wow.
Um, yeah, like pretty much every sale that I make, I'm trying to put a good percentage to give back to the community and
Mhm.
That's good.
to help not smaller, but like smaller or just people that are super talented but are not as known, to have a couple of sales and everything. And like, yeah, like I'm always trying to find new NFTs and stuff like this. I know because of I'm saying this, I'll receive a shitload of DM of people pressuring me into buying their NFTs, which
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't buy NFTs that people are pressuring me to
Right.
buy. So don't
Yeah.
do this. Let me discover you.
Right.
That's the best way to do it. Like, but yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. Like, I'm so passionate about all this beyond the NFT space. I'm just so passionate about the crypto and the community behind the NFT space.
Mhm.
I think it's the honestly like it's the community I feel the most accepted. Even like back then when I was doing daily renders and stuff like this, like the like a motion design community, or like all of these guys, I wasn't really appreciated, or
Mhm.
I was always like, oh, he's another daily render artist or whatever. He's like, I was always like sidetracked, and it really like annoyed me back in the days, but that's old days. But yeah, I feel like community wise is like the an amazing community, and I think people are really there to support each other because it's not it's not about like who makes the most, but it's about how can we all make a living out of this, and we can take
Mhm.
less commercial work and be like, okay, like we can create the best fucking work we can do now because we don't have to work 80 hours a week to do
Yeah.
a
Yeah. Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
spinning bottle that splash in someone's eyes, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went far on that question. I'm sorry about that.
No. Don't
No, I mean,
apologize.
I think anybody who's been watching NFTs has kind of been watching what you've been doing, and I think people
Yeah.
are really interested to see how this all came about because you had a lot of daily renders, and I think that was definitely helpful in that
Oh, yeah.
case, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
so,
You had a pretty good following before you
Right.
started, the NFT space.
Yeah.
yeah.
A question, because who does the person? So I'm curious about that first piece that you sold because I feel like that's probably worth a lot now. You know,
Yeah, bro.
like, right? It's like. So has that person like resold it, or have you tried to get
Mm.
it back or anything like that?
No, actually, like I became a super good friend with Ioannis.
Uh-huh.
Once I'm getting vaccinated, Joe and I are going in Greece. We're
Oh,
gonna
nice.
Cool.
meet up.
Cool.
He's super sick. But no, he told me like he's never gonna sell it. Like he doesn't even
Yeah.
want to sell it, which is cool because it makes everything more like, oh.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, he's an amazing person. Him and Barry bought my two pieces after.
Mhm.
Uh, amazing, amazing people. Like it's crazy, like how many friends I have made in the NFT space, as much as
Yeah.
collectors as artists. It's fucking crazy. I really love that community. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Mhm.
was going to bring up because even Phil here in the chat, he says he's made so many new friends through NFTs. And it's been so great, too, because we've popped on some of these Discords, and there'll be like, 80% people that you already know, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so your friends are in here, and all of a sudden these new people are in here, and they're friends of friends and things, and they're instantly your friends as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been great. It's been just revitalizing this sense of community, especially during a time when everybody's locked in their own house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, that was the perfect moment. And I just want to sidetrack here, but like to all the people that just joined the NFT space or the community and they're not selling or they're not having as much success as they would expect to. I think patience is key, and like it took me. I had a piece that took me 3 months to sell, even if like my market was going super good. So, like there, I think everybody needs to be patient, and like I'm sorry, but if you give up on this community, like it's gonna be even harder to come back or something. But yeah, like there's a lot of positive thing about this, but I totally understand how challenging and mentally burning it can be to see everybody else around you having some kind of success.
Yeah.
Because even like I consider myself having some sort of success in that space, but I'm also uh, how can I say that? When I see like someone having success, I'm like, oh shit, that's fucking crazy. Like I'm not jealous of that person, and I feel like jealousy can make your art go bad, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. I don't know.
That makes sense. Yeah, I can see that.
proper word, but all I want to say is for newcomers to just be patient and good work, and good work will be seen, and it needs to connect with the collectors too. So
Yeah.
like you cannot expect everybody to like your art at like when you post it. Like that's
Yeah.
one of the main
I think if you compare it to just doing art in general for clients, it really makes sense as well. You're not going to enter the space and say, look, I've got Cinema 4D, I've got Octane, I'm making a thing, now somebody hire me right now. Because you have to make a name for yourself even if you're going to do business, even if you're not
100%.
doing NFTs, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So tell us about, I want to know a little bit more about the Nifty experience, because Nifty is kind of different than the other platforms.
Yeah.
You know, it's this gigantic one that came around, and that's the platform where it's like, oh man, you get on Nifty, you're gonna make $1 million.
Make $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
talk about that experience a little bit.
Yeah, Nifty is pretty crazy. Honestly, like Tommy from Nifty is one of the nicest person I met. So this guy is like 23 or 24 years old, and he's probably the busiest 23 years old person I've ever like met. Like this is fucking crazy, and he takes time to reply to literally everybody. I feel like in the NFT space, Nifty Gateway has the best artist relation platform. I feel the other platform don't really give a shit about you that much. That's the feeling I had from other platform. But yeah, Nifty is amazing. Like, and what's interesting with Nifty is like it's a show. When you have your date, it's a show. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna release an artwork on like a different platform.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like
it's-
you're just releasing on Foundation or something. Yeah.
Right.
Like, so
You are the featured artist of the day.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know? And that's got to feel important. Yeah.
And so Nifty did their mistakes. They've been greedy a lot with like 5 drops a day for
Yeah.
which I totally understand, because when you're in, it must be so hard to be like, oh shit, no, we need to like your favorite, like The Weeknd is coming at you and be like, hey, I want to do a drop on your platform. Like, imagine how hard it is to say no to this, even
Yeah.
if you know that, I don't know, like, not trying to be on any side, but like, yeah. But Nifty for me, it was an amazing experience, and it let me do something that I wanted to do for so long, which is the Fvckrender verse. I've always wanted to learn on Unreal Engine, and I always wanted to create like this kind of universe with big sculptures of mine, and like sitting in on Lens.
Yeah.
So this is something I couldn't do before NFTs because I was working 80 hours a week, 200 hours.
Yeah.
So there's no time for me to learn Unreal. So after my first drop on Nifty, I did quite well at the time, and I was like, okay, I'm not taking any work. I'm just gonna learn Unreal. Like literally every day, I was learning Unreal. I created this Fvckrender. That Fvckrender drop went fucking crazy. Like
Yeah.
I was so like honestly, I was shaking for 2 days, and I was literally crying for a week because I was like, this is so surreal. Like it was so fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Talk-
explain
Talk to me about
that
it because
yeah.
yeah.
I saw
get
it too, but I don't really know
but
everything about it. Like I want to
think I
know.
wasn't in the space too much yet before when you had launched that.
Yeah. So what do you mean? What's the question?
So this
Talk to us about the Fvckrender verse.
verse, yeah.
Yeah.
So the Fvckrender is like, so to me, when I was releasing image and people were buying these images, I was like, I'm a 3D artist. Like there's no, it didn't make sense for me for people to pay, I don't know, $100,000 for. Oh shit! I need to charge my.
So I can look it up in the meantime while this is going on. So
Yeah.
So from what I remember, he built this thing in Unreal, and I haven't been able to look into like anything Unreal. I haven't been able to load Unreal 5 or any of that. That's probably a good subject too, because the Unreal 5 YouTube stream came out last week, and they were talking about what some of these new features are going to be, including this. What is it called? It's not Lumi. It's Luma something or other, and it looks like it's almost like replacing RTX as far as I can tell, as far as what I'm looking at with Brandon. But you can try out this new.
I haven't looked at any of the new Unreal 5 stuff.
If you look at Glass Hand, the brand Clem on Instagram, you can see an example of this. So he's working on a course for us right now, and so he has in his chapter 1 this room that he built, and so what he's done is he's taken this room and he's run it through their new Lumen system, and it's looking almost basically like it did in ray tracing. This is not ray tracing, which that's what's crazy. This new system is like fake ray tracing. So,
Interesting.
Very interesting.
That's
so
crazy.
So he put those in there. There you are.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
That's all. It's all good.
As I said earlier, I just moved, so everything is like dispatched
Everywhere. Yeah.
in my new place. But yeah.
So tell us about like I'm interested about the 3D Unreal aspect of this.
Yeah.
Where do you go to look at this?
Yeah. So if you go on fvckrender.com, you download a file that is about 4 gigs. We're currently working on making it auto update and on Steam.
Cool.
With wallet connection, so you can buy NFTs directly on the Fvckrender. Sorry, I kind of want to sneeze.
Do you put your own NFTs in here, or can you see other people's NFTs? How does that work?
Yeah. So right now, so the main goal to me was like, okay, how can I display my NFTs? And I wanted to create something that was never done before in the NFT space, which was seeing the actual object, all my NFTs in the same place, in virtual, so people can experience it. And I wanted to make a meditative experience as well. So I created these like super simple minimalistic landscape, but just big enough and with like calming music, so you can just like walk and see, and like big sculpture, like a museum basically, but like a virtual museum. So yeah, I'm not like a game designer, so it was very fucking challenging to
I'm sure.
to do this. And like the first build I did like all by
yourself. There it is. Bless you.
Yeah, so I did all by myself, and it was really challenging to like decimate object and like textures object and everything. And after the first drop, the first Fvckrender, I was able to hire um, devs to help me. So I hired one of my good friend Dan God, who now help me to make sure everything runs smoothly. So I create all the landscape, I create everything, but I take this package, I give it to Dan, and I'm like, okay, can you just make sure this works? And example, if I need like some transition or stuff like this. Oh my god.
That's it.
It's not COVID. I'm good. But yeah, and Dan has been helping me so much to make sure everything runs smoothly, and like if I wanted to do integration of like things that I personally don't know how. But yeah.
So
That's cool.
I guess
I'm downloading it right now. I want to look at it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So talk about your girlfriend's involvement in this as well.
Yeah. I think the last time we had talked, the last time we had you on the show, she had just gotten into 3D and was starting to do like dailies with you.
Oh, that's
as
right.
well,
That's right. Gosh, I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah, she's so fucking good. Like honestly, I'm blown away. Like she's very talented, and she works so hard. But yeah, I think a few months after the show, she decided to quit her day job at the restaurant because she really hated this place, and it was very mentally hard for her to work there. Because anyway, long story, but yeah. And she quit that job, and that day like Christina Aguilera shared one of her image on Instagram, and she was like,
rock on.
that's a sign. And she started to have like a couple gigs, and like it was pretty crazy, like to see her grow that fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's so fucking good. Like yeah.
Yeah, and which ones? Because she does the buildings. She does a lot of like architecture, right?
Yeah.
So, which ones were released on Nifty? I'm trying to remember now. She's got a lot of them, but
Yeah, Lavish probably you're talking about.
okay, cool. I'll try and find it here, but
Yeah, it's beige on Instagram,
Yeah.
so it's beige on
it's
on Nifty as well.
underscore beige underscore, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I bet
Yeah,
that's a tough one to keep the handle on,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. The fucking underscore. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just bring up her whole account just to go through.
Oh,
it,
nice.
Yeah, but
Sick.
yeah. So I bet that was nice too. What was her reaction to doing the Nifty thing? I'm sure that was emotional.
Oh yeah, no, it was pretty crazy. Like this whole month was like just completely surreal, honestly. Like to me personally, my second Nifty drop, I felt so weird, because I don't know, I kind of felt guilty of making that amount of money in this short time. I was really feeling anxious about this, and I don't know, like people will find me fucking stupid and idiot to say that, but like I just didn't feel good about this. And I know people are like, oh, I fucking wish this would be me. Of course, like I'm super stoked and I'm super proud of everything, and I'm like, when I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's fucking crazy, and like I'm so grateful for this. But like on the moment, I was just like so like paralyzed and anxious and everything. It just felt weird, like I don't know.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it is life changing. It 100%. And I sold my Beeple piece for. Ended up making 165,000 off of it.
That's easy.
And that alone was life changing for me.
That's crazy.
I got no more debt. And you go from like, you go from $100 being like really tough to pull off, like, oh, you get a bill for $100 to like, you get a bill for $1,000 and it's like, okay, I'll just pay it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a completely, it completely changes the way that you think, you know, and like, there is a guilt that comes with it because you're like, oh, I should be investing in other people's stuff, but I also got to pay my stuff and make sure that I'm good, and I don't want people to hate me because I'm not buying their stuff and all this stuff. Yeah, it is a weird transition in your mind to get around.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. And like, but I think just from resale NFTs, I made like a good amount of money, which was like pretty crazy to think about this. Like,
Yeah. Talk to me about the you've done a few collaborations, right? You did one with Zed.
Yeah.
I actually picked up one of those pieces.
Nice.
And then also you did a collaboration with what's his name? Musician. Yeah, Post Malone. Yeah, talk to me about those collabs, because those are two of the biggest artists in the world, you know?
Okay. So the Post Malone one was really sketchy.
Okay.
Like really fucking sketchy.
Why's that?
First, there's no fucking music on the piece.
Okay.
And this annoys me to a level that I don't really want to talk about it, but the old project was, I'm super stoked because it's Post Malone and everything, and I got to talk with them and him and his management and everything, but like.
So I thought there was no music on the piece because like Facebook took the audio down.
Oh no, there was just no audio at all. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, this one, like, it's cool. I love the piece I did for this. I think it's fun, but yeah, like I don't really care. Zed is an amazing person. One of the artists that I work with that is the most humble and the most genuinely interested in knowing people. So I literally have nothing bad to say about Zed. And it was like so sick to work with Gabe as well. Gabe is an amazing visual artist. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't think I would ever do collab with musician anymore. Just because I feel that collectors are a little bit tired of musicians coming in the space, because like, as much as I love Zed and everything, he doesn't engage with the community. He doesn't like interact with the community, and he's super busy, which makes total sense. Like this is like hey, you should do this, Zed, or like, I'm not bashing against this guy. I love Anton so much, but yeah, I think collectors wants, if they buy a piece for a couple $100,000, they kind of want to chat with the artist. Makes sense.
That has been one of my biggest beefs about some of the musicians entering the space, is that it sometimes just feels like a cash grab.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
And you know, with us doing the drop, we've done now 16 episodes. And if I go on Nifty Gateway and I'm looking at what drops are happening for the week, and it's a musician and they do not even promote it on their Twitter,
their own.
Like this.
I'm out. To
yeah,
me,
because it means they don't care about it.
It means they don't care.
Even if they were social media
it means
managed
they don't
by.
care about the space enough to be able to promote their own work. It's like, okay,
even if they were managed by.
Why are you pinning? Why are you pinning your newest album, and you're okay with that, but you're not pinning, you know,
because
your NFT drop that is coming up that week?
Because their label is telling them to pin that, and they're having their social media person pin that. The social media person, like, if it was important enough, the artist would even tell the social person, hey, I'm doing this thing. This is really important. This needs to be on my Twitter account or whatever, right? But it's not on there because nobody cares. And I'm betting you that the label. I'm not saying that it's like it's going to hurt them in any way, but I bet there's kind of some reason they're not promoting it. It would be my bet. Maybe they're not making any money off of it. So
no, they're not making that much money out of it. The management is taking most of it, which really sucks. But also the only musician from the top of my head that I think they have their place in the NFT space is, of course, BlVcK. BT just had an insane release There's Latch, which does all the Mad Dog Jones music. And there's someone else that, oh, Don Diablo has done pretty good too, and it has been part of the community a lot. So I think the musician winners is like the community involved people for
Yeah,
sure.
for
Yeah,
sure.
totally.
It's just got to
Totally.
be genuine. That's the thing. It's,
Yeah,
it's,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
it's got to be a pairing that makes sense. So,
Yeah.
speaking of which, Matt, did you want to talk about
Yeah,
this week's drops? Let's do that real
jump
quick.
over to the drops. Sorry, I gotta pull that up.
Yeah.
I was supposed to have it drop this week.
Were you?
Oh, really?
Next, yeah, but like I had to cancel it because I'm doing a Sotheby's, which is fucking.
Oh,
yes. I wanted
Let's
to talk to
talk
you about
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that
before
real
before we jump over to
Yeah.
the stuff coming up.
Let's
Talk
talk about
about the Sotheby's.
And I got to
drop.
use the
Dude.
restroom. I'll be back.
Yeah. So, those honestly, like Sotheby's and Christie's has always been like a major goal for me, and it's not something that I ever thought I would be able to do because I'm a digital artist, you know. So
Yeah.
to me, I was like, oh, I'm just like doomed to do commercial work or to execute someone else's vision. So, but yeah, like I don't know, like Sotheby's, and this piece is super sick. Like I like it's crazy because back then I wasn't able to say that I love an artwork that I did.
Yeah.
But this artwork, I fucking love it. Like it's it's fucking crazy.
This is
And
the
also,
one for for Shift. Is that it?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once Dave gets back, I'll have him bring it up. I just found it online. It's a very
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
piece.
Yeah, so I really love this piece. Like the colors are fucking sick, and what's interesting about this is it's written with my own smart contract, which is very interesting because I think it gives more provenance, and it's gonna be interesting to see more artists using their own smart contract instead of using super smart nifty gateways.
Yeah.
So I got my friends at Manifold to help me write this contract. So from now on, pretty much all my NFTs will be on this particular smart contract.
Are you able to? So once you create a smart contract under your own, how do you go about like selling it, like through like Maker's Place or?
So you
What?
cannot sell them on Super Makers or Nifty or any. Pretty. But I mean, I'm pretty sure you could. I mean, you
Dave,
could.
can you bring up the link that I just sent you?
Sure.
This is the Sotheby's piece. Sorry, go ahead.
there we go.
You could, but like to me, I'm more interested in building my own platform to sell my own NFTs.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to be dependent on any platform. But I will still be using Super Rare and Nifty Gateway for sure because I love them and like they are amazing platform. But I just wanted to create something for me as well.
Sure. I mean, that's the thing. That's what you're doing in this entire space is you're creating a brand for yourself. You're expanding your brand, I should say, not creating because you've already got a brand. But I mean, why shouldn't it all be under one place? That's so smart, dude. Like that's fucking genius. It's like
exactly.
you got the Fvckrender universe. You've got now basically you're doing it under a Fvckrender contract and stuff like that. It's like that's genius, man. That's good. And that to me like that adds so like a whole nother level of legitimacy where you actually built it under your own, you did it under your own contract,
Right.
Versus doing it under someone else's. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's important I think the most important thing about NFT and crypto is like, how can you use the technology for your goods and how can you do something crazier with that technology? Because if you only release an image and you think someone will buy it, I'm sorry, but it's not just this. It has to go. It has to go deeper and people has to. I'm sure there's a lot of people releasing an image and not doing anything, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't sold it. This fucking NFT space is fucking bullshit." Like, of
Right.
course, it's bullshit. You're not doing any fucking thing to like sell it, and it's not like by shilling your art on posts, and it's not like by DMing collectors to be like, "Hey, buy this, buy this,
Right,
buy
right.
this." This never gonna work. If I see a Twitter DM of like, "Oh, you should buy this," I'll never buy it. Like, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
like if you want collectors to buy your art, make people talk about it. That's
Right.
the
Yeah.
advice I can tell. Like, it
Yeah.
make
Yeah. Yeah.
talk about it. Do something fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, you have a gimmick or sell a physical piece, have something
Yeah.
to do. And that's the other thing. It's not like you have to just do an NFT and have a gimmick for it. You can do other things in your life and find a way to attach an NFT to it. For example, the scholarship we're doing. There's no
Yeah,
reason it has to be an NFT,
Yeah.
but it's going to be because you can say, look, I have my certificate for my scholarship on the blockchain. You got to think of some interesting things to do. A lot of people who do like really cool, like awesome models will do like a physical version of it that they'll 3D print. There's so many different ways to approach it instead of just like DMing people and say, buy this.
Totally.
Yeah. And like it's interesting because like by having the scholarship on your wallet, that's so sick because now you can put the scholarship somewhere in your collection or something. So to me, it's like a pride, you know? It's like I remember when I was going to my dad's office, he had like all of his diploma and stuff
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah.
it's basically this now. Like I sometimes I just go see people's wallet and I'm like, oh, they have this, like they have this CryptoPunk, and like it's just I don't know, I think it's cool, and I think NFT will see a big boom in the next few years when we're gonna be like example like a CryptoPunk only events or
Right.
like a scholarship only events, you know, like
Right.
this is
Yeah.
where it's heading, like, and you like it or not, it's where it's heading, like
Yeah.
this is gonna be it, like.
And there's
But
there's
yeah.
even a fifth
I'll be
like
right back.
a fifth
Keep going.
scholarship that we're talking about doing right now as well, which is and we got to figure out exactly how the details work of this too, but it's more of it would be a one-time scholarship that we would sponsor, which would be kind of a pass the baton type scholarship sponsor, because a lot of times you'll take a class or you'll get into something and then you'll learn a lot and you want to pass it down. So there are people that might take the class and get really good at Houdini and then be like, okay, well, I've learned everything that I could from this. And they'll have like some up and coming artists that they're mentoring and teaching about Houdini and whatnot. And so the idea is that whoever holds the NFT to this scholarship passes it down to the next person, because there's the proof of ownership on the blockchain. So whoever owns this on the blockchain currently has the login for the
Yeah,
class.
exactly. Dude, I think even any login might be with wallet at some point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It just makes sense because it's
For
so simple and it's so secure. I don't know we'll see how it goes, but like I'm so interested with all this. It's crazy, man. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and so I guess before Matt's not back yet to do these drops, so we could probably get into just the. Oh wait, he's here. Let's do this first. So I want to talk about just cryptocurrency in general, but let's do the drop list first, real quick, and talk about what's coming up this week, and then we'll do that. Matt, you are muted, sir. you
What's
go.
up? Sorry, I didn't want you guys to hear me pee.
Oh,
So,
Why?
that's funny.
all right. So this is my biggest beef, and Frederick, I don't know if you can
You got connections.
you know, yeah, you got some connections. Start telling some people, because this is my biggest beef with Nifty Gateway and a little bit of Maker's Place. You know, I want to be able to see some of the drops that I'm, wanting to bid on or whatever ahead of time, and no one posts this stuff. It's like the NFT space for some of these drops has become very cryptic. Where it's like, ooh, I'm doing a drop, but you won't know what I'm going to drop until I drop it. And then you have 5 minutes to buy it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I know. I totally get this point, and I unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna change because this creates some fucking fake scarcity or something.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, no, I feel you. But there's ways to see everything ahead. If you go on OpenSea and you type the artist, uh,
Oh, okay.
find everything a week ahead.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. That's
Yeah.
in
Maybe
the
I'll
secret,
start
Matt.
doing that
Yeah.
for the drops so I can see what these pieces are because, you know, even some of these pieces, like for example, you know, on the 3rd.
But
of
we
this
don't even
month,
know who the people are. That's the problem. You don't even
Yeah.
know who to look up because they're not even listed until Monday morning, if that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. Anyway, okay, so first up we've got and if you know any of these artists or have something you'd like to
Yeah.
input on,
Yeah,
that would be
totally.
awesome.
Yeah,
Raf Grassetti
Yeah.
on Nifty Gateway. This one's dropping today. These are really pretty, these sculptures and stuff like that.
And
And
it's super nice too.
Ooh, yeah.
yeah, very pretty. It's an edition of 30. You know, it's relatively well priced.
See,
you
these
know.
are the things that would be nice to see inside of 3D. And by the way, I was going to ask you, can you see these things in VR in your Renderverse?
Yeah.
Your stuff. Okay. See,
Nice.
these are
Yeah.
these are the things that, like, if I bought this and I could put on my VR helmet and just walk around this and study it and look at it, that right there is awesome for sure.
Yeah,
some,
totally.
some people having issue with Fvckrender and the VR, but I know most people can do it, and we're currently working on a fix. But like,
Yeah.
fixing bugs has been really challenging for people
Yeah.
that know games. But yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, that's a great way to do it, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you got?
But
Ooh, Greg Mike.
Yeah, okay, so Secret Walls, this is on the 2nd. One thing that I like in the past few weeks, Nifty Gateway has started not doing them all the time, right?
Yeah.
So Secret Walls is doing a drop on June 2nd. And it's interesting. You don't know unless you like start digging in. But Greg Mike helped out on the project, and y'all will know Greg Mike from a lot of his spray paint cans. You know that
All
that
the beer,
dropped on.
like different beer cans and all that.
Yeah. Like
all the
really
different
cool
kinds
stuff.
of-
I love Greg Mike's.
I really wanted to
So-
buy one of his.
I know. I know. So super cool stuff. I'm excited about that one. Also on the 2nd, Luis de Guzman. I see this what sucks. Like Luis de Guzman
There's
is a
no link.
really talented artist. There's no link, right?
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
Because I went on their Twitter and they're not promoting it or anything, but Luis is a super talented artist, has done a bunch of like some collabs on some like SpongeBob SquarePants stuff, you know, and I thought it was cool, but it's like, come on, man, give me a link to your NFT.
Yeah.
I want to see what it looks like. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that one out there. On the 3rd of June, there's another one that I don't have a link to. Kid Mograph and Ya Wolf are doing. Joe Wolf, yeah, are doing a collab together. Say, I went to both their Twitters. I don't know what it looks like or what's going on with it or teasing it. I'd sure love to see it.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be great.
Hey,
So,
guys, I'm coming
but-
back in 1 second. Okay?
Sure.
Yeah, man, totally. So the you know, and the biggest thing is like with this, it's like we know Kid Mograph. We're promoting Kid Mograph because I know Kid Mograph is a talented artist, and that's the reason why, you know, I will at least
Yeah, because
give it a
we know who he is.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So the next one is I don't know entirely what this is about. See, this goes into the I want to know the story behind it and stuff. So this is Arctic House.
Artec
think is
House.
how you- yeah, Arctic House or Artec House. With Vince Frazier. So Arctic House is it's kind of similar to from what I understand, it's like Meow Wolf, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I
So
was gonna
it's
say
like
it looks like
this
there's like projection
experience
and
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really interesting to see, but I don't know what they're doing as far as
Like, what's the
NFT
actual NFT?
space
Right.
is going to be. Yeah.
again where an explanation is needed. You know.
where an explanation
Yeah.
is needed. Yeah,
Yeah,
at
for
least
sure.
with, I know with some of like Beeple's stuff, yeah, he's been doing drops, but he's actually set up a website specifically for it to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyway, like I want more information on this stuff,
Yeah.
Okay, and then on the 6th, Jan Silva, I don't have a link. I
Again,
don't have a link
same
or
thing.
anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we would.
I would personally check Rapgrosity, Too Much Lag for sure. I think Too Much Lag is a big innovator in the space.
Mm-hmm.
Kid Mograph and Jai Wolf. I think it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I love both of them. I've worked with Jai on his tour visual for so many years.
Cool.
So yeah, I love these two. And Gian Silva for sure is such an amazing photographer. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like very sick what he's gonna release.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
And
See,
Rap-
and that's
Rap-
why we need someone like you on the show basically weekly to, who's in the space and knows the artists and stuff like that. Like it's good, just that little extra bit
To get that
and it's funny
information.
because,
That's what information
like-
needs to be on the site, though. That's
Get
what
me anytime, guys. I like this.
what's interesting is that like throughout the weeks and stuff like that, we see some of these recurring artists doing multiple drops on like multiple places. Like, one week they'll do one on Nifty Gateway, the next week on
Yeah.
Maker's Place or something. And then we start to get to know these artists, and that is what I really, really like. I really, really like. Like the other day, it might have been one of these other people on the drop this week where they did a piece based off of like a Renaissance picture or something like that.
Mhm.
But they were showing off different like NFT spaces. And I was like, I know who that artist is. I know who that artist is. I know who that artist is. And it's like all because we started doing the drop and we started getting into this NFT space. That's one thing that I love about this space is that you get to know new artists and stuff
Right.
Yeah.
without actually having to like research or like meet up in person and stuff like that. It's been good. So anyway, I digress. Next up on the Maker's Place drops this week. Tomorrow we have Meta Phoenix. Frank Wilder is their name. They're doing a drop. This reminds me very much of like a Burning Man type thing,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And so there's multiple versions of it and stuff. I don't know. Pretty cool stuff. Kind of neat. Next up on the 2nd, you've got I'm gonna butcher this name, and I'm pretty sure I've butchered this name before. Murat Sajiner, something like that. Come on, Frederick, help me out.
Sajiner.
I don't know.
Sajiner?
Yeah. But they've done a few drops over the few weeks, and then so they're dropping a new one. I really like their work. It's very pretty. Yeah, that's about all I have to say.
So these are
for
the
it.
ones that
These are
already
ones.
sold?
These are ones that have sold previously. I
Okay.
think it's a continuation onto this same flying fish like group or whatever. So anyway, next up we got Antonio Garcia Villaron. And I will say I knew all these artists because Maker's Place sent me an email saying this is what drops are
Right.
happening next week, and
Yeah.
they sent it to me on Friday, and I was like, yes, all right,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
And I do like that they have a nice little description so that I know a little bit about it and stuff
Right.
like that. But this is cool, You've got editions 1 through 3, $13. Editions 4 through 11,
Nice.
3. So
Affordable?
I mean that's fun, yeah. And so
These are cool.
I was reading about this, and the pieces I think are made live on a live stream, and like they take every 13th suggestion on the live stream. You know what I'm
weird.
saying? And they add that into it. I don't know. It's really interesting. So I would love to go look and see if I can find one of the live streams.
like
But I
that
thought
one.
the concept was neat. Just like talking about having a shtick.
Right,
Not
having a
just shtick,
thing.
but like having a thing. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
So-
See, the gimmick really helps for sure.
Yeah. So next up we got Julian o-hayon. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but it's dark mode. Is it BlVck
It's
Paris?
BlVck Paris, but BlVcK.
VCK, right? But
Hey,
see,
copying you there,
right?
Fvckrender.
Copying, but
It's
it
not-
could be. I mean, if you do it with a U,
Yeah,
you know, there's
BlVck.
no
It's a
specific
BlVck.
way. It could be BlVck Paris, you know? But sure, it's BlVck
I
Paris.
think it's supposed to be like an
Um,
upside down A.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Totally. So the drop, I thought this was pretty cool. You know, neat little stuff.
Whoa.
That
Oh,
that,
I saw
that
this one.
is
Dang.
gorgeous. That is totally gorgeous. So really pretty stuff. I really like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, your
considering everything
typical
is black,
astronaut in space.
I'm
you know?
assuming that it's not BlVck, it's black. That's, man, that's awesome looking for sure.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
pretty. I love the matte black look.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it as far as the big drops. As far as community drops, we've got Lorcan O'Shanahan did a drop a little while ago, and as I was doing calls for it in the the Slack, this one was reminded to us. So I think we
Cool.
may have mentioned this one before, but it's really pretty piece. I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will
So-
say mine is still available. I lowered the price because
still-
ETH was so low or was so
Yeah,
high.
I mean, Lorcan did that on this piece.
Right.
You know, it's like the price goes up, and like it's like
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
yeah.
I lowered mine because it was way too high because it was, I forget, it was priced at like 1.8 ETH, which had become way too expensive to buy, especially
Yeah.
for you know, a piece like mine, which I don't have a lot of other pieces or art or anything.
Mhm.
And so then I lowered it. Then of course crypto took a dump, and
Yeah.
now it's like listed for practically nothing. So I did want to talk a little bit about just cryptocurrency in general and just kind of get your
Yeah.
idea of that. You know,
I love this.
what you moved a lot of money into crypto, and how
Yeah.
are you feeling about the recent dip?
Okay, so everything that I'm gonna say is not financial advice.
Right.
Just so nobody
Mograph.com
says-
does not support void were
Right.
prohibited.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but like honestly, like I'm a long-term person. I lost a lot of money like last week. Like literally, it was really like it was I was a little bit freaking out inside, but I was calm and I was like I'm a long-term person, so I'm like I'm not even looking to cash out next week. So why this shouldn't
Mhm.
affect me because I know where
Yeah.
this whole project of ETH and everything is going, where it's going. I think we're far from done. I think we've seen a very fucking crazy spike, and I think it's LT that it dropped at the level we are right now. I would like to see, honestly, like it could go to 1,500, and I wouldn't stress. Like I mean,
Yeah.
it's part of the game. It's not the stock market. It's way more
Right.
volatile.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's open source, so a lot of people come in, come out, take in, and so it's I don't know. Like
What do you think drove that dip though?
so I'm not quite sure, but I think it's over. I don't know if I have the proper word in English, but over leverage. So people that got loans to buy lungs, or I'm not sure the proper term in English, but like people that just took loans and they really got fucked up and they had to cash out at some point because they were in too massive loss. I think it just made like an escalated downward escalated
Interesting.
pattern or something. But yeah, I think this and like a lot of weekends, a lot of people were seeing like, oh shit, it's crashing. I'm taking out of all
Right.
Yeah.
of my ETH, and like I feel like weekends is like probably the COVID-19 of crypto. Like it's a but at the same time, I totally understand. Like if you put your food money in crypto, you're never gonna survive. Like
Right.
you need to put gamble money on crypto and not like
Right.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to put all of it in there. Are you going in? Are you going in multiple currencies? What's your?
Yeah, so my biggest is ETH. So yeah, I was pretty shocked last week. But my favorite coins right now is I'm a big supporter of Axie Infinity, which is their token is AXS.
Yeah, I was gonna
Um,
ask you about coins.
yeah, so this project is amazing because it's a play to earn game. I don't personally play the game that much, but I buy these Mystic Axes which are quite expensive. Like I paid one I think 30 ETH.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's really crazy, but it's a very rare one. It's they're like Pokemons, but the reason why the
Okay.
reason I love this project is they're helping people around the world making money. And for us, it might be nothing, but for people, I took a famous example, but in Filipinos, Philippine right now, there's a lot of Axie players, and they're making about $200 to $400 a month,
Mhm.
which for them is probably I'm not quite sure, but there's an amazing documentary about Axie and Philippines. And I recently started this scholarship program where I bought a bunch of Axies and I give them to people in need in Philippines,
Hmm.
so they can play. So they play all day. I just gave my first payout yesterday to my first scholars. Her name is Angelica, and I gave her, I think it was $300 USD, and
Wow.
she made that like in half a month, which was pretty crazy. Um,
But it's
so
a
yeah,
game though. Like, what's the game part of it though? That's
it's a game, and you collect a SLP, which is Smooth Love Potion, and you can trade these Smooth Love Potion for eat or for anything else, but you can use them for breeding as well.
hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's pretty cool because all every purchase of Axis that's going on the website, every Axis that you bought, like the 30 there's a percentage of this sale that goes to the play to earn. So for the players to buy, to get to be paid basically. So yeah, and now I have two scholars. My goal is to have 10 scholars. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Like it's an amazing project, and I feel like this will this is a project I really believe in because they've been doing so well, and they're not like they've been always in the top chart, but they never had like this crazy spike like I don't know like um, any NFT project that you
Yeah,
see that's
it's very
coming
long
out. And
terms.
yeah, like
Yeah.
the Gary V project, like you see, like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
goes crazy. Oh, ISL NFT project, blah, blah. This to me, if it's the ISL, it means that in 2 weeks it's not gonna be anything, literally. That's how I see it. So Axis always has been top chart, but like they've been super silent. They've just been doing their shit. But yeah, AXS is pretty much the thing I bought the most. Um,
How
Other
how
than
do you
that,
feel about Gary V's project, by the way?
uh, no comments. I don't know. Like,
I mean, I don't know
I
that much about it, but I just do you feel like it's gonna work out, or does it also seem like a cash grab to you? It kind of does to me because it's like
I
it's
need
a
to be
mixed bag
careful.
because he's
I
somebody
feel like
who's
he
like
understands the space,
he understands the space, but
but
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
but
Yeah, I need to be careful. He started to follow me this week, so.
Uh,
But I think it's bullshit. No, I'm kidding. No, I don't know. Like, to me, I buy something if it looks good first.
Mhm.
This is why example, the Bored Ape. I
Mhm.
prefer this project over Me Bits example because to me, Bored Ape looks so fucking cool.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, me personally, I'll never buy the V friend or I don't know. It just doesn't fit my style that much.
Sure.
I really hope he's gonna make a big success and it's gonna help people. But because at the end of the day, the goal is not to help him; it's to help people. If you sell, like how I see this is to me, like when I do a drop is how can it's not about me making money on the primary market is how people will make money like flipping my thing.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
main, that's the main thing
Yeah.
I think about is this. And I think I actually did a great job. Like if you see, of course the market right now is not super good, but if you see the Soulstone was $2,500 and they were selling for $40,000 at some point.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the main goal, is for others to make money over me making money. Like I'm way more comfortable than I could ever imagine, and I just feel that now I just want to do like things that are very limited and more smaller price, so people can actually flip them.
Yeah.
And hold like I prefer when people hold them and forever for sure. But if someone can make money and pay their debt, dude, I fucking to me that's the best reward over them.
That was the thing. Like Mike texted me, you know, as soon as my piece is the piece that I was selling sold, and he's like, dude, you just made this much money, like, and it was the day before his Christie's sale, and he said, dude, I think I'm more excited for you right now than I am about this Christie's sale tomorrow. You know, and that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I speak for myself, but I'm in a position where I'm super comfortable, and like I just want to make sure that people that buys my shit, it gains value at the end of the day. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Totally.
But as far as crypto, there, like I can share my Etherscan address so you can see.
Do you have any render tokens?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Render is like that's my coin. That's the one that I love more than anything.
Yeah.
Because I think the stuff that Otoy is doing with the render tokens are just like phenomenal. You know, and the fact that, you know, they just moved over to the new version 6, and we can start using the 30 series cards in order to mine render and like render people's jobs. Like it's not just you know, it's not the same, you know, they don't have the environmental impact that everything does, because it's got a purpose behind it.
Right.
You know, you're helping
the actual
other artists
render
and stuff like that, and you're
Yeah.
And
so
honestly,
it's cool.
The environmental impact is. I don't want to jump on this, but like.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
It has been proven that there's way worse thing than. So I'm not saying crypto is good at all for environment, but like I feel there's a lot of misinformation out there.
And there's also a lot of ways that people are working to fix.
100%. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Totally.
For sure.
Yeah.
Render's my coin. My coin.
I think the big thing is like thinking about the long term in this, as far as platforms, as far as coins, as far as everything. Is like, you know, when everything shakes out, what is going to be the norm? I think that's really the big thing. And like you were saying about some of these platforms, it's just like random platform here, and then there's a big push, and something happens like Gary V's. It's launched. Okay, well now what? Now what happens? Now it's launched and the hype has happened, but what happens in the long tail? Like what's 5 years from now on that platform?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's like every time that someone come in to me with a NFT project, I'm like, the first question I ask is, where do you see yourself with this project in 5 years? And if they don't have a clear vision, to me, it's never gonna make it. Like it's never gonna work. Like to me, I know exactly where I'm at in 5 years with Fvckrender. Like literally, I know exactly where I'm at. So yeah, you need to be prepared to like. Even now we're seeing like a down market, and a lot of artists are gonna get out and be like, oh, okay, this market is not real and everything. And when it's gonna come back up, they're not gonna be there. Like even if the market is down, make your name there. And so when it's back up, the fucking wave will hit you up. Like
if anything, that's the point in which you start pushing out more work, and you know, because people saw this big kind of cash grab here a few months ago, and it's like, oh, there was a huge influx of artists, you know, and a huge influx of work. Well, some of those people, me being one of them, have dropped off, you know, and are not putting out work right now. And it's like, okay, so all those people who posted stuff who haven't actually done anything since that one piece, you know, now's your time to actually get in there, you know, because there's less artists now.
Yeah, and like I've done like some pretty like insane sales in the past few months, And I had a recent foundation. Like my first foundation was 171 ETH, which is fucking
Yeah, saw that. That was insane.
My last foundation is 6.9 ETH.
Wow.
But this didn't. I didn't like. Oh, I when I saw that, I was like, I wasn't like, oh, like Fvckrender is dead. Like
Right.
and
Right.
right. Like there's ups and downs, and like if someone bought it for 6.9, that's a fucking good deal for them at this
Yeah.
point.
Right.
If someone if someone buys your piece for 0.1 or 0.5 or 1 or anything, any price right now, and it's lower than you think it's worth, they just paid for a good price. And make sure that these people that add this fucking crazy price on your piece in like 2 weeks or 2 months, they'll be able to sell it for, I don't know, 10 ETH or 15 ETH or anything. And yeah, and after that 6.9 ETH sell, I had one at 40 ETH, which was pretty crazy for the market. So it moves, and people some days there's less people that will buy stuff, and don't let this discourage you. It shouldn't, and it's okay to do less sales or smaller sales. Like there's always that pressure of like making the biggest sale or everything. That doesn't make sense.
Right. That was my thing when I first got into the space. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna price this about, 1 ETH or something like that. But eventually it was like, who am I? I'm a nobody. I haven't made my unlike you, I hadn't made myself known in the industry as an artist. I had only made myself known in the industry as a podcaster, right? So like no one knew who I was. So it's like at that point, it's like I had posted some stuff on Rarible, and I was like, you know what? I'm basically just gonna give this away. I put it to the lowest possible amount I possibly could. Some people picked them up. They could buy them for, I think it was like $8, or $30 or something like that. Buying my pieces, and I sold them all. That's fine, And I sold another one of my pieces on Foundation for like maybe $100 or something like that. And I was fine with that. I didn't care, because it's like, okay, if I'm gonna make if I'm gonna make a name for myself, I need to be able to make a name for myself. And this is a new way of doing it in comparison with just posting your stuff to Instagram and stuff like that. Where Facebook's making all the money off of your work, versus like Foundation or Rarible or something like that, or Maker's Place, and being able to post your own work and selling it and making money for it yourself.
I still think you should price them more. I think you deserve a decent price. I think it's just like how you approach this space that is important. Because I think if you hear me out. If you put one piece and you don't sell it for 3 months, but you sell it for 1 ETH instead of 0.08, you made more money at the end of the day.
Right.
Absolutely.
I agree with you there. I'm totally fine with like holding and stuff like that. But like I said, for myself, not being a known artist, and I wasn't putting the work out there to make $1 million. I realized that probably wasn't going to happen. I was putting it out there to get the work out there. And if someone wants to turn around and sell it for $1 million, that's great for them.
Right.
I'm totally cool with that. But it's like I'm totally fine.
Yeah. Which would be good, because after that all your pieces will go crazy.
Right.
Exactly.
But I think being patient and just like keep releasing stuff that you like, and just post like piece that means something to you. That's the main thing I think collectors wants to see.
Right.
But yeah, it takes some time, man. Like
that's why I don't have but the one thing up. It's like it's
Yeah.
one thing that actually meant something, and it's like I could go in and get some of my random projects I worked on, or
Yeah.
a couple Instagram things, and throw them up there. But it's kind of rehashed stuff. It's not, it's not particularly meaningful. But if you're frustrated with it and it's been months, I mean, I'm in the same boat, and it's you just got to give it time for it to get out there, for somebody to come across it.
And and I would still like put even more work, even if you have unsold one, like because I feel like it has to connect with someone, and the piece you're gonna post that you're waiting to post because you didn't sell the other one might connect better with
Yeah,
someone
that's
else.
true.
Yeah.
That's
Like
true.
I had two unsold pieces on my super rare account, and I posted one that really connected with another collector, and
Mhm.
this one sold, and the two last piece didn't sold for one didn't sold for 4 months, and the other ones didn't sold for 2 months. So
Interesting.
and yeah, and I just feel like it has to connect with people. Like that's
Yeah.
that like when you buy art, it's not like just buying stuff just to buy stuff. It's you
Right.
want to connect with the piece. Like I collected a bunch of NFTs that I bought because I like it, not because
Yeah.
like yeah.
Yeah.
But
The my favorite piece that I own is the Eternal Flame by Blake Catherine.
oh yeah, I love this. I love Blake so
It's a
much.
beautiful piece, and
So
that's the whole reason why I bought it, was because it is absolutely a gorgeous piece.
yeah,
You
I
know.
think my favorite NFT that I own, um, I think there's dude, I have so many.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I think it would be my I bought a one-on-one of Andres Risengard
Mm-hmm.
on Super Rare. I think it's this one is one of my favorite for sure, and all the 6 and 5. I love like beige 6 and 5 Andres. I love this aesthetic of like dreamscape interior design and stuff like this. I really love
Mm-hmm.
this. But yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's so nice. Like, now I'm waiting to receive like a couple mural knit gear that I'm gonna
Mhm.
put on my walls to display
That's
in
cool.
NFTs.
That's
So that's
cool.
good. That's cool. We Victor, Beige, and I we own a art gallery in NFT gallery in Vancouver. So
Oh, cool.
we bought a bunch of Samsung art that we put on the walls. Uh,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and we're gonna start doing some curated shows and events and drops there. We're building our own platform where we're gonna do like our own drop format there, which is gonna be pretty interesting. It's gonna be like physical, but you'll pay
Mm-hmm.
with MetaMask. So it's gonna be pretty
Nice.
interesting.
That's
That'd be
cool.
cool.
That's way cool.
Yeah.
Next time we're up in Vancouver, we'll have to meet
Yeah.
up. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
It's gonna be nice.
Winbush said that James just sold his Genesis piece last night, and that was up for 2 months.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
you just never know.
it's worth it to just be patient. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
For sure.
but a lot of people want that quick buck and just are easy to give up and stuff like this. But I don't know. And I understand I'm in a totally different situation from a lot of people, but seeing this from a like stepping back, like to me, being patient is the most rewarding. It's
Mhm.
it's for everything. If you work out and you expect to be fit tomorrow, you're never gonna
Right.
be fit tomorrow. Like it
Absolutely.
doesn't
For
make
sure. Yeah.
Play the long game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, there I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, you know, there's a part of you that kind of got lucky where it's like you posted your first piece and then you got, you know, what, like 6 ETH or something like that. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, well, it's easy for you to say that. But what people don't realize is the amount of work you put in ahead of time,
Yeah.
building up that, you know, Instagram and Twitter following, to where when you posted something, that made it that much easier to fly
Yeah.
off the shelf, you
Oh
know?
yeah, for sure. Like
Yeah.
building community around you is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that a lot of people always try to skip and avoid.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I totally understand how hard it is to put yourself out there and try
Yeah.
to be interesting. Like I don't consider myself interesting, so every time I do a tweet, I'm like, oh, that's so stupid, but I'll just do it like anyway. But yeah, like it's pretty challenging to put yourself out there, but at the same time, it's worth it. Like yeah.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Oh, look who it is.
Oh, look.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Dorpy.
How's it going?
It's all right.
I was almost late. I'm trying to make some music for my new NFT I got going on. It's going to go along with my album. It's called No
Okay.
Doggity.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But I haven't been in front of the computer much lately. It's the holiday weekend, you know, in the U.S., so I'm just chilling out a bit. I went to Starbucks, got a puppuccino. I also managed to capture some scraps and some grease from under the barbecue grill, so it's been a good day.
Yeah.
I saw Cruella this weekend.
Yeah.
Can I just say, not historically accurate?
Okay.
Yeah. That Cruella's one sick puppy.
All right.
Everyone knows she killed those dogs and skinned them for that dress. Everyone knows it.
Yep.
This is exactly what the mainstream media wants you to think. Anyway, I'll quit my whining.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god. Are you sure you don't do crack?
No comment. Bye.
Bye, Dorpy.
That's cute.
Oh man.
Dorpy.
Yeah, follow the mograph.com
TikTok. So-
TikTok for more Dorpy adventures.
You see the Dorpy adventures. I've also been putting some quick tips on there, and they've
Yeah,
been
the quick
pretty
tips are
well
good.
received. So got some other ones planned and scheduled out to go out on Mograph TikToks. Check it out.
part of the show. If that's the best part of the show, come on.
Right.
This must be
I
a
know.
pretty shit
Oh
show.
man, that's pretty bad. I know.
Oh, it's funny.
Anything else
All
we want to
right.
talk about in the NFT space?
Man, I feel
today?
like there's so much more. Like, Frederic, I wish we could meet up in person.
I know.
And do like a live show or something. What we
Beers
need to do
and
is
NFTs.
once you know your studio's all up, you know, and we need to come up there.
Oh yeah.
And we need to do like just like a video in a big spot all about this space and stuff. It would be very, very cool. You know,
Yeah.
I think that'd be rad.
And you like as long as you're vaccinated and healthy.
Yeah, fully
Mhm.
vaccinated right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can come at any time. Honestly, yeah. We're all getting vaccinated next week, so yeah. Dude,
Yeah, that's awesome.
honestly, anytime you guys want to come in and spend a week in Vancouver, we'll make you see how beautiful Vancouver is. So
Oh man,
Yeah, and
it's
I'm
one of
hoping
my
that
favorite
SIGGRAPH
cities
comes
I've ever
back.
been to.
Yeah.
We were there a couple of years ago for
SIGGRAPH.
For SIGGRAPH.
I hope they
and
come
it
back.
Was just, it was
Yeah.
gorgeous. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm assuming, like, I haven't heard anything about even like virtual SIGGRAPH or anything this year, so I hope it's not
Yeah,
gone.
I don't know. I've heard rumors that it was hurting.
Yeah.
You know, and that SIGGRAPH
That'd be a
maybe
shame.
may have seen the end of its days.
We'll see.
Which I hope is not the case.
Not the end
but
of its days, but just that they
We'll
weren't.
we'll start our own SIGGRAPH.
Yeah.
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 With NFTs and
With
blackjack.
NFTs and blackjack.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Dude,
Uh,
you guys could have your own conference for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. The Mograph. Well, that's what Camp Mograph is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just limited. It's just smaller.
Yeah.
You know.
Dude, I just want to say something. You said that earlier. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in Camp Mograph, you're giving some rewards for some events.
I don't know
Like,
that. Not necessarily. That's a good idea, though.
Yeah.
I thought I heard like you guys
So
are.
we I mean, you'll have okay, so what we've done in the past is we've had like patches.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
different patches for like the
The classes.
like the different
Mhm.
workshops that you go through or the different sponsors. All the sponsors have patches. I've got all the sponsors patches from the last one
Yeah.
like sewn on my backpack and stuff, but we thought about doing some custom ones like, you know, oh, I beat Dryson Karsten in archery
Right.
because he, you know, was a state archery champion in high school or something. Or, you know, I conquered the climbing wall for all the people who actually can make it up the wall. I thought that'd be
You
fun.
need an embroidered QR code.
Yeah, right. That'd be
That
fun.
goes-
Okay, but if you have any challenge like this, I'm willing to give away 3 balance to your to any contest or anything from.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All
I
right.
have I bought a bunch of balance this week, just to sweep the floor on Nifty Gateway. So I'm willing, like I can send it to you tonight if you guys want. If you have whichever Nifty Gateway, I'll send you
Okay.
3 balance. So if you want to give them to, like I don't know, winners or anything, like anything that you have in mind, like you have like.
All right.
All right.
Cool, man.
Let's talk
Oh,
after
that'll
the
be
show.
great.
We'll hook it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally. You got to come to Camp Mograph. That'll
I
be
know.
fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's just down the street from you,
Yeah.
basically.
If I have my second shot of vaccine, I'm clearly gonna get there, but I'll buy the ticket just in case. But yeah,
Awesome.
Cool. That'll be awesome.
I'll
Anything?
sell it
Awesome.
for 6 times the price.
Yeah, right? There you go.
Yes.
That's funny.
Anything else,
Yeah.
Matt, on your list before we get out of here?
I don't think so. We can head back to the show.
Let's do
I would
that.
say if anyone listening has a drop that they'd like to shill on the show, send us an email, info@mograph.com. We'll make sure to feature it on the show. The drop is of course a second part to the mograph.com podcast that you can hear every Monday around noon. So yeah, check us out.
All right. Let's get out of here.
Let's go back.
Thank you guys.
Is this the fucking mic? This is exactly what I should be doing.